What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have some big things to talk about in today's video, like how Elon Musk is trying to back out of the Twitter deal, but it's not going to be that easy. He might end up having to pay $1 billion minimum just to back out of the deal, and he might not even be able to. So stick with us because that's pretty important. Twitter stock is tanking off of this news, and Tesla stock is rocketing to the upside off of that news. In this video, we're also going to be covering some important earnings for this week and other information that you'll need to know about, and of course, some good plays too. So with that being said, we're not going to waste any time. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, so we're going to have some pretty big stuff to cover here with Twitter. So pretty much on Friday, Elon Musk announced that he was going to terminate the Twitter deal, or at least look to. And we can see that right now, Twitter stock is getting hammered in after hours, like you mentioned, Mike, all the way down to lows of like $34 there. That's a pretty bad hit on Twitter stock, which was at almost $39.50 on Thursday. So to see it down that much was pretty brutal. But yeah, he notified Twitter he's terminating the deal. But the thing is, this might not go through. Like you said, Mike, there's a minimum. So pretty much under the terms of the agreement, Musk agreed to pay $1 billion if he backs out of the deal. But as Twitter's board indicated they would do, the company can seek to hold Musk to his original deal by suing him for walking away if they dispute that his reasoning should let him out of the contract. So pretty much the reason that he wants out, though, is because of them not providing sufficient information for the spam accounts, of course. And then obviously, I'm sure there's some other reasons, but as we know, that was the main thing that has come out. But Mike, this is a pretty big situation, obviously. Lots of things are being said between pretty much like Musk's lawyer. And then we also have Brett Taylor on the Twitter board here tweeting that the board is committed to closing the transaction of the price and terms agreed upon with Musk and plans to pursue legal action to enforce the merger agreement. We are confident that we will prevail in the Delaware Court of Chancery. So that's huge. They seem pretty confident with this. So I don't know what's going to happen with Elon here, Mike, but sounds like a pretty brutal court battle is ensuing.
Oh yeah, it's going to go on for a long time, most likely. So in terms of Twitter stock and important things to know, it's like this is going to be a gigantic court battle that's going to last a long time. And Twitter stock was originally set to be bought out at $54.20 a share. Right now it's not looking too good. Right now the stock's at like $35 a share. So it's still possible for the deal to go through, but it is pretty unlikely. Honestly, it's just like investing in the Twitter stock at this point, like, like I said, it's possible for it to get bought out at the original price, but it's like, it's going to take such a long time, most likely, where I don't even know if it's worth it. But yeah, I mean, Elon's lawyers basically just said that Twitter just gave them materially inaccurate representations, especially when it came to the bot and spam accounts. So what interesting news.
Yeah, it definitely is interesting. And I know that there's definitely a lot of spam and bot accounts on Twitter. If you go on there and you go on anybody's account, of course, there's lots of real people on there too, but you'll see a ton of bots posting things, especially on like Elon's page and some of the more important people, of course. But yeah, nonetheless, the stocks are going insane. The thing I really liked about this, Mike, is that Tesla's stock was flying up off of this news, actually. That's awesome, because I remember Tesla's stock was falling down a little bit. People kept saying that Elon might not pay as much attention to Tesla now that he's getting into Twitter and stuff, even though he came out and actually said, I'm still going to be full on with Tesla. But nonetheless, people were, I guess, lacked confidence there. But hey, I guess that's good to see Tesla up now. And, it's I know it sucks for Twitter, but hey, at least Tesla's moving back. And, Tesla actually had a pretty good move last week, Mike, from lows of like 630 all the way up to highs of like 770 over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. And then also check out Tesla on the daily chart. It's been in this range between like 650 and 775 to 780 for a couple, I guess you could say like a week or two now. So it's just been back and forth, back and forth. So Tesla is one to definitely keep on your radar. We could see in the bottom right, it has had a decent correlation to the SPY lately of around 0.68. Its average green days have been around 2.52%. Average red days have been around 2.45% to the downside. It's had around 52% green days over the past trading year. So not looking too bad, but keep it on your radar.
Yeah, definitely. It looks pretty hot. Even shorter term here, it's starting to break out pretty well. But Mike, we do have some pretty big news still coming up this week. Obviously, last week we talked a lot about payrolls on Friday. So payrolls actually came in higher than expected, which was nice. We can see here that the CNBC article says that big payroll gains push recession fears into the corner for now. So we'll have to see how this ends up going. But these job numbers were amazing, Mike. So they were forecasting around 600 or 268,000 on the payrolls, and it came in at 372,000. That is a huge beat off of that estimate. It is slightly lower though than the previous quarter, but nonetheless, Mike, that is still good to see it beating that consensus there by that much, and the market liked it. But as far as data coming up this week, we still have a big day on Wednesday. So guys, be prepared Wednesday. They're going to come out with the inflation rate again. Last time it was 8.6%. It looks like they're forecasting this time 8.8%. So looks like they're forecasting a bit of a jump. Hopefully it doesn't jump too much, especially with those good job numbers. Who knows? Maybe we'll fall back down a little bit.
Wednesday will be so important. An hour before open, we get the inflation rate, and that's going to give the Fed a giant signal, kind of like what happened on Friday. When we saw those payrolls just crush estimates, the Fed was like, let's go. The economy's actually not too bad, and that's kind of like giving them more freedom to continue their rate hikes. If inflation starts to calm down, that will give the Fed even more confidence that they can continue to do what they're doing. Basically, they're just trying to juggle lowering inflation to around 2 to 3% without crashing the economy. That's their goal right now. It's going to be really tough, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Honestly, the SPY has been kind of uptrending here over the past week. So I hope that with those good payroll numbers and everything like that coming out, maybe we can have some nice uptrend heading into Wednesday. But I will say, Mike, the market does look a little bit overbought over the past couple of days. But if we go out on a longer term chart, obviously then we're more oversold. So kind of crazy. Talking about the SPY though, Mike, we're kind of at a pretty big resistance here, right around 390. There was a lot of bounces there on Thursday and Friday, even in the past. 390 was a pretty big level, right where the SPY gapped down a few weeks ago. So definitely watch 390. Also watch the high up there right around 393. If we end up breaking out there, I think we could have a pretty good run.
Awesome. So you mentioned 390 and 393 for resistance. What are you seeing for support?
Yeah, so for support down here, I see a huge one down here around 382.50. I know we had a lot of bounces right there over the past couple weeks, so 382.50 will be a big major support. But for a shorter term support, I'm seeing 386, Mike. There's been a few bounces there the past few days, right around 386. Even 387 intraday Friday held up, but honestly, 386 looks a little bit more, in line with past movement here.
Righty, there we go. And then Tom, what do we have on the schedule for earnings this week?
Yeah, earnings are going to be pretty big. So I guess we're starting the next earnings season here, Mike. I know the banks usually kick it off for us. So here we go. This week, we're actually going to have Pepsi on Tuesday to kind of start us. But then Wednesday, we have Delta Airlines. Definitely keep that on the radar. I know this will affect cruise lines, airlines, and a lot of those reopening plays, sometimes even like hotel stocks. So be on the lookout for Delta. But Mike, Thursday and Friday are going to be huge. We have big banks reporting: JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, Progressive, BlackRock even. I mean, this is a huge week for earnings. We even have Taiwan Semiconductors too. So yeah, guys, it looks like earnings season is definitely going to be kicking off, and hopefully this helps the market recover back up a little bit.
Yeah, Friday is going to be a giant day. Look at all those bank earnings. So it's going to be an interesting week, guys. Feel free to screenshot this so you have it to reference later in the week. But we should definitely see some volatility off of these events. But Tom, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have AMD to the downside.
Yeah, poor AMD here. Go ahead and make them fall below $79 even for tomorrow.
All right, with the next one, we have Enphase to the upside.
ENPH, good old Enphase. Go ahead and make them break that high of day Friday right around 219.15.
And with the last one, we have SPCE, also to the upside.
Yeah, SPCE, Mike. This one surprises me that this one's still going up. Go ahead and make them break above, I would say that high of day Friday as well, right around 745.
Right, there we go. So we are watching SPCE, end phase, or SPCE and end phase for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. And then we are watching AMD for a potential day trade to the downside tomorrow, only if it breaks below the level Tom listed. But guys, if you like our videos, make sure to subscribe. We post a bunch of great videos and we're planning to just continue to improve and post even more videos in the future. So make sure to subscribe if you like them. And then I want to give a giant shout out to our member of the day, Manny, in the Stocked Up Discord. Huge shout out, Manny. Thank you so much for all of your support and kind words. Tom and I really appreciate you. But Tom, do you have any favorite setups or anything you're watching heading into tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm still keeping my eyes on the gold market, Mike. That's going to be pretty big this week. I know GLD has actually been kind of falling off the table a little bit, which has been a bit surprising, but we're falling down into some pretty big areas of support. So I'm definitely going to be watching GLD here right around like 161. Also down here right around 158. There's some decent supports all between there. So definitely watch that little range down there. It might be a pretty good longer term pickup maybe for some gold, or, if you guys are interested in grabbing some metals. Honestly, Mike, I would have expected gold to go up a little bit more with inflation staying high, but I guess it's kind of falling back off because as we know, there was that Russia stuff kind of pushing it up there for a little while, I guess caused some volatility, but nonetheless, I'm going to keep my eyes on the gold market as well, Mike. Is just a lot of growth stocks overall. We had a pretty good day Friday. Like you mentioned, Enphase was up. We also had Chewy back on the rise, and a lot of other stocks were rising back up. So hopefully we continue this nice breakout that we had last week, because it was a pretty good week overall, I'll say, Mike. I know that there was some, red sectors mixed in there, but nonetheless, the overall market did pretty great.
All right, there we go. If you guys trade options or are looking to capitalize off of this crazy volatility, definitely check out the first link in the description and the comments down below. Our bot has been on fire lately. So last week, the worst day trade popped for 22%. The best one popped for 91%, which was on Monday. And the other ones popped between 50 and 55%, all within the same day. Definitely check it out. You're not going to find our bot anywhere else. It's awesome. And if you don't like it, you can cancel it anytime, but it's an awesome thing to have, especially in Discord. So check it out. It's going to be that first link in the description and the comments down below. Besides that, let's have an amazing week.